Hey everybody, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Okay, so today we are getting started on the Gingrich tract, getting it opened up, and getting the momentum moving. And it's been kind of hard to get the momentum going just because of rain and one thing and another, causing problems. But what we're doing here is we've already got the timber cut, and this morning we had a friend come out and wanted to do some videoing of us. And we didn't want to mess up his content, so we just kind of picked up where he left off. Now this morning while he was here, we had skid some logs out with the mules and set them out on this little logging road that we're on right here. The road lays 90 degrees to this wagon. It kind of goes down this fence road. The fence road is right in front of the mules, and the road kind of lays right down beside of the fence road going back toward the sawmill in the woods that the Amish has got set up. And what we're doing on this job, y'all, in case you didn't catch the last video on the prep work, the Amish has got a mill set up in the woods here that they're going to be sawing the tie logs out. And then the grade logs, which is what we've got on the wagon here, these are 12 footers, they're going to be going to town. So we've got to carry these all the way to the road. And y'all, this job is going to be a little difficult because the skids are very long. We're way back in the woods right now. We're at the very back of the tract. Because when you start a tract, you want to start at the back and work your way out. And right now, we're at the very back, so it's extra long skids right now. And that's why we're using a wagon on this job. Now, I stuck my PV in there just then, and it fell right on through. It didn't work out like I wanted it to. But anyway, so we're trying to get our momentum built up and get some wood moving. We've already hauled out, I think today on this job, we got out about 5 or 6 wagon loads of ties. And we had to make several trips with the grade logs, mainly because the roads are tore up and the ground conditions just ain't good. We've been getting hammered with rain. And y'all, right here where the camera is standing at right now, and I want to send a special thanks to my wife also and my daughter Savannah for helping us video a little. They're a big help to us. But anyway, y'all, right here where Skylar was loading at, on this side of the wagon, there's a stump hole there. And I've got a little too much footage on this wagon. It surprised me when I scaled it. It was right at 600 feet. It was about 550 feet. It was a little more than what they could do with the wagon wheels cutting down. And see, we got down in that stump hole, and they couldn't, move it with that much footage on it. And the ground is soft as this. So we got Skylar to push us on out. And we had a little bit of trouble getting on out to the road. I had to get Skylar to push me here and there to get me on out to the highway, but we did make it work. And on the next, actually every trip after that, I just loaded the wagon a lot lighter. We had some great big logs that had to come out. Marcy and them wasn't there to video that for us. But what I did was I just hauled like one log at a time. And I'll stick a picture in here, y'all, just to show you, because I did snap a picture of one of them. It was probably the biggest log that come out. And I'll stick a picture in there here in just a second and let y'all see that, of that one log. Now, one thing I wish I'd have done different, loading these logs, these big grade logs on here like this, I wished I would have took those two butts, the butt cuts, and staggered them, put one butt at the front and one butt toward the back, and then put that smaller log in the middle on top. I believe if I did it again, that's what I would do. But anyway, so I didn't want to, draw the video out too awful long, going here and going there and whatnot with the wagon. I just kind of wanted to give y'all an idea of what we're doing and what it's going to take to make the wood move on this job. And hopefully we can get some momentum up. Now right here is a pretty good little hill, and I want to show y'all something I've been working on with my mules. I learned this from a friend of mine about, getting them to scotch a wagon on a hill. And right here, this is a pretty good little hill. You can't really see it for the video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop them on this hill right here, y'all. And then I'm going to get them to hold it. Now this is a good tool, y'all, because if you get your mules to kind of lean in on a load like that, and scotch it on the heel, it kind of gets them stretched out and in position to start pulling again. And they can get about 15-20% more power just because they're already set up to pull. And also you give them a few minutes to blow and let them catch their breath. You don't want to run them out of wind. Now, as I mentioned before, that load there that you just saw was a little bit too much. It was cutting down in the road, and it was, once that wagon starts cutting down, it's hard for the mules to pull. But now this log here was the biggest log we've got on the job so far. It was right at 400 feet, and it was about right for this setup, for the log wagon and whatnot. And the mules come out with it, just fine. Okay, now here is me loading a load of ties. And the mules are getting used to this skid loader and dropping the logs on the wagon. And y'all, this wagon is set up to cross haul, and I know some of y'all have seen us do it. And we're going to do some cross hauling at certain times. It just depends on what suits the day as to what tools you use. And that's one thing that I love about mule and horse logging, y'all. Every day is a different day. Every day requires different tools and situations that'll work out the best and be the most productive. Today the skid loader is working out pretty good for us. It's kind of tight in here. We don't have a lot of room, and everything's working out pretty good. And the road is just a rotten mess, and especially with these stump holes in here, it's just right back in here where we're at. It's pretty rough, but we got all the timber out of this little old spot right in here, this little finger that we're in. We're right on the edge of a clear cut, and we did get the timber out right here on this finger. So when we're done, I'll go back in with the skid loader, kind of slick the road down, and we'll be in good shape. And even with the wagon, and the mules and the skid loader, we still, tracked it up pretty good. I can't even imagine if you was trying to do it, with skidder and whatnot. It'd probably be really bad. And again, I'm not running a skidder down, y'all. I came from a skidder, and skidder operators has got their own set of problems, just like we do. So. I'm definitely not running a mechanical crew down at all. It's just a different method, different way of harvesting timber. That's all. And, we do it the way we do it, and they do it the way they do it. And I'm a logger just like they are, and they got a lot of the same problems I've got, and vice versa. Coming from a skidder background, going back to animals and whatnot, I like working with the animals better just because, if you get a real good broke pair of animals, horses or mules, oxen, whatever, if you get a good broke pair, y'all, it's like having an extra man on the job. And, I just really enjoy fooling with them. It's not as productive. You're not going to move the volume that you're going to move with like a skidder mechanical operation. But this is a pretty good little setup right here. These tie logs that's on there now, we got roughly 450 feet on there right now of ties. And, you can see how the wagon's, doing real good. This is a good balance load. Oh, and something else, I've had people ask me, why don't I extend my back axle out to haul the longer logs? Well, I could. I've got the option to do that. There's a bolt in there. You just take that bolt out and slide that axle back. But the reason I don't, y'all, is because the majority of what we do is short wood, like 9-foot ties and 10-foot logs. We do a lot of that. And when you're cross hauling, you don't want to get them bunks too far apart because it's harder to get that thing up there, get it up on there. So that's the main reason, is because we haul more ties than we do grade. Now on our grade, we try to cut a minimum of 10 foot and try to go 12 and sometimes even 14. 12s are about the max of what this wagon will haul. And like I say, earlier y'all saw that load I had loaded on there. It needed to have been staggered, butts to offset some of the weight, because I had a little more weight on the back axle than I did on the front. And I believe that might have helped us a little. Maybe. I don't know for sure, but maybe. Anyway, I'll shut up now and let y'all just kind of enjoy the ride. I just wanted to bring y'all up to speed on what we're doing and how we're doing it. I'm going to try to get some more videos of this sawmill that they've got set up, and it's coming up here in just a minute. Y'all will be able to see it, and I want to get some more videos of it and kind of what it's all about and whatnot, and share that with y'all. But again, y'all, this is an Amish landowner and I have to be respectful of him. They don't do photos and videos. I would really love to get the sawmill in operation, but I can't just because of the guys being Amish. So y'all just bear with us. And also, for those of you that was looking for the shoeing video on the mules versus horses, y'all, I gotta apologize to you about that because the weather was terrible that day. The wind was blowing, rain was coming in, you know, and we're not inside of a barn, we're just under a carport there, and it just was not good weather to do any kind of video. And I did get the mule shod, but I just didn't have conditions favorable for videoing. So y'all bear with me, and we'll do that again sometime, and I'll get that video out for you guys. Now, just real quick, this is a circular sawmill. That tarp, the first tarp, black tarp, is covering the saw head. And then here's this little iron wheel wagon here that's got the power unit on it, and that tarp's covering it. And they've already sawed some here before. They've cut a few trees with crosscut saws and already sawed some lumber and a few ties. And now we're going to start feeding the deck for them where they can speed up their sawing production. Too bad of a trip, was it? Now, the ones of you that watched my cross haul logging video, remember when I got my binder and stuff stuck because I loaded the logs and didn't get my binder out? Well, look back there on that back axle now. I put me some hooks back there, y'all, to hang my chains on and my binders, and it's down lower than the logs are. So now I don't have to worry about that. I do try to remember to get them out first, but even still, if I forget, I've got hooks down there that holds my chains now and my binder, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I want to thank every one of you that come up with, you know, some ideas on it, you know, and gave us some suggestions on what we could do. I really appreciate that, y'all. And you know, I welcome any constructive criticism, you know, that y'all have. I'm open to, you know, I've got an open mind, and if one of y'all sees something that we could do better and might be easier on us, hey, shoot me a comment down there and let me know, because I'm all about doing things the easy way if I can. Now, I've showed y'all this before. If you'll take one of your logs and roll them back against your wagon wheels, or like on the side loader truck, roll it back up against that, you know, the wheels on the side loader when you're dumping, it'll serve kind of as a backstop, and when the logs roll off, it'll hit it and be like a basketball on the, you know, backside of a basketball goal. It'll sort of hit it and ricochet off of it and head on down the hill like it does here. Watch this. See there? Now, my backstop log there weren't exactly round. It's kind of oblong. Y'all can kind of see how it is. It did not make a good backstop log. So y'all forgive me on that. I tried to use that as an example, but every once in a while I still just look like a chump. Y'all see what I mean on them chain hooks now? It keeps my chains a little bit more organized and kind of keeps them out of the way of the bunk. And I can get to them should I have to if I forget to take them out. Anyway, on this deck here where they're sawing at, we'll come up here and we'll dump several loads, several wagon loads. And then once we get a jumbled up mess up here at the sawmill, I told the Amish guys I would take the skid loader and load their deck on their sawmill for them. So, all they got to do is just roll them up on the mill and cut. I told them I'd do that for them, and keep the logs piled up, stacked up right there at the deck for them. So to make it easier on them, because if not, they'll have to take a horse instead of tongs, and skid each log up there, and it'll just be a lot more work for them whenever I can do it in just a few minutes with the skid loader and help them out. And y'all, I want to be good to them and earn their respect and possibly earn some more of their business later on. Y'all, we just want to treat people the way we want to be treated and do a good job. Y'all, I appreciate you watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Y'all take care. God bless you. Come back anytime. I appreciate you.